Hey RC drivers, welcome back to the channel. I've got another video for the Fix My RC Car playlist. Today's subject is, why does my car shake? I've seen this posted recently on a number of Facebook groups, and today we're gonna tackle that question. I'm gonna give you a possible reason why it's happening and give you a bunch of fixes to think about. All right, the reason I think, and from what I've seen from these videos being posted, is that you're getting stuff in the tires. We've got a lot of really cool RCs nowadays where we could drive in water and sand, and those elements could get into the tires and cause it to be unbalanced. And that's why the car is shaking. All that dirt or water is getting on one side of the tire and it's just shaking the car as you pull the throttle. It's something that we kind of have to live with, and here are some of the fixes. We're gonna start off way early in the process with a brand new tire. Actually, I've got one here mounted up on a tire balancer. I'm just gonna give it a light spin to show you. This tire is actually not balanced from the factory. It's pretty close. It's acceptable actually, but if you wanted to go crazy, balance your tires, they do have like tire balancing putty. They have tire balancers. I'll have links in the video description below for this stuff, but you could go add some putty just like you would to a real car. They actually have lead weights and you could balance out your tires. This one, like I said though, is fairly acceptable. I'd just throw this on the car myself. Now, why would you want to go and balance your tires? That's going to be another question people are going to have. The reason is it's causing the car to shake. You see it. It causes, poor performance, and it could actually cause wear on the car itself. So that's why you might want to think about checking the balance of your tires often. The next thing I want to talk about is, should you clean your tires? Because that could cause an imbalance too. So I've got two tires here. They're off the same truck, and one is still dirty, one is clean. So I'm gonna throw the clean one on first, just so you can see the balance of this tire. It's probably gonna be a little bit off since it is dirty, but it is fairly clean. And as you can see, it's fairly well balanced. Now I'm going to throw the dirty tire on, and when you have a dirty tire that is caked full of dirt on the inside, that will cause an imbalance. And so you're going to want to clean your car often. Car maintenance is a good thing to do just to protect your investment and have it perform better, have it wear less. So I'm going to go and give this one a spin. It just requires a light spin. And as you can see, the drop is a little bit more significant, and it's actually fairly balanced the way the dirt is spread in this particular tire. You can see that a dirty tire may be imbalanced as well. So it might be a simple fix where you just have to clean off your tires frequently. Now, most likely you got something in the tire, and there's things that you could do to prevent that before you even run. And that's what I'm going to talk about now, and that's venting the tire. So pretty much every RC car you want to vent the tire. There's a few where you don't want to vent the tire. And the reason why you want to vent the tire is to let air out, so it's not bouncy. When this thing is sealed up, it's going to want to bounce on you. And obviously a bouncy tire is going to cause some erratic handling, maybe make it a handful to drive. So that's why we vent the tires. Now there's two different theories on venting a tire. You could either do it through the wheel or you could do it through the tire itself. And to do it through the tire itself, I use a leather punch. I'll have a link for this in the video description below. And to vent the wheel, you could either use a reamer or you could use a drill bit. Now, if you're running on hard packed surfaces where it's not going to collect a lot of dirt, you may want to go ahead and vent the wheel. Or if you know you're going to go drive it in sand and water, you may want to vent the wheel so you could put a piece of tape over it to prevent those elements from getting in the tire. Although venting the wheel sounds like a great option, remember that any type of dirt and debris rotating around inside the wheel is going to get forced into that hole and build up, causing the imbalance. Now, the reason to vent the tire itself is centrifugal force. If stuff does get into the tire, you have a better chance of getting it out of the tire with the hole on the outside. You can't get the stuff out of the tire if the hole's in the rim itself. It's really hard to squeeze the water out and nearly impossible to get any sand or dirt out. But if that hole is on the outside, centrifugal force is going to push it out. People think, well, if I roll the tire on the ground, it's got to collect dirt. No, not really. You really have to force it in, and once it passes that surface that it's on, centrifugal force will push it out. So in some instances, in many instances, it's better to vent the outside of the tire, and that it's just going to push anything out, and it will give you the ability to go and squeeze any water out. You could shake any sand out. I've done it a lot over the years, but those are some things to think about before you even start to assemble a tire, put it on your car. Now, what if you did get stuff in your tires? That's the hard part for some people. For others, it could be an easy fix. Now, if you use a beadlock wheel and tire on a lot of crawlers, there are some off-road wheels and tires that have beadlocks set up. You could simply take the tire apart and squeeze the water out of the insert, dry off the inside of the tire, or pull all the sand out and flip the tire inside out, clean it all out, and make sure you get everything out before reassembling the tire. If the foam is damaged, you should replace it while you have it apart. The harder thing to deal with is a tire that is glued. This is really difficult. This is where having a vented tire would be beneficial because, as I mentioned earlier, there's ways to squeeze the water out, shake the sand out, or if you do have a break in the bead, you could pull it back and empty the tire out that way. Again, squeezing the water out or emptying the sand out. I don't really recommend breaking any type of glue bead because once you break an original glue bead, it never really seems to go back the same. You could always chance it breaking again, and you go through the whole process of getting dirt in your tire over and over. If you do go ahead and chance, breaking the glue bead or even cutting the glue bead off to access that dirt in there, make sure you clean it thoroughly with some cleaner, such as a motor spray. I use CowRC Moo Clean and some paper towels, and really clean off that area before you glue it back together to make sure it seals up. If you don't want to do that, here's another option. What you could do is you could take one of these leather hole punches, you could turn it to the larger hole, is typically what I do, and then go and puncture the hole in the tire in the center or as close to the center as you can, so you could go and dump or squeeze out any water or debris that's inside. So that's it, guys. That's probably the reason you've got an unbalanced tire. You've got the elements in there, and it's just a part of RC, something we have to deal with. And I would suggest, tackling it sooner rather than later to fix the problem before it causes any other issues on your car. All right, guys, I hope that answered some of your questions. If you don't think you have an unbalanced tire and you think it's something else, it might be wheel wobble. I'll have a card right here for you to check out the video.